From trauma to bonding. I mean, it feels like just the MO of this season.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you happen to be new here. This is a little long overdue. This is going to be my spoiler review and thoughts for the Mighty Nein episodes 5 and 6. I was originally going to do these individually, but time and employment and work and the things I have to do kind of get in the way from me doing this stuff sometimes. So I have decided to do these two episodes together, and I will do episode 7 and 8 to round out season 1 together as well. Episode 5 was called Little Spark, which is basically giving us Caleb's backstory, his relationship with Trent Ickathon, and with his close confidants Astrid and Aelwulf. This shows Caleb going from being just a simple farm boy with some innate magical abilities, being discovered by Trent and being taken to the Solstice Academy. Forgive me if I messed up that name. And that's where he honed his magical skills and also became a Volstrucker, where he served the Empire and did some not so kind things in order to protect the Empire. This is kind of going at the same time as Caleb is helping Beauregard interrogate the magical assassin who is a former associate of Caleb's, and this is just also causing more distrust and rift, especially with Beauregard, who already has trust issues to begin with. We also see that Ford gets poisoned by said assassin, and Molly and Jester have to go off to look for some stuff while Knot takes care of Ford, who is not the best bedside person. I really like how this episode focused mostly on Caleb's backstory as well as with Knot, and we get to see more of Knot's motherly side when it comes to taking care of Ford, even though Knot's ready to put an arrow in his head. But when some of Ford's personal trauma with losing Bandrid and the crew and how he feels responsible for it, Knot actually attempts to comfort a delirious Ford in that moment. And we get more of Jester and Molly bonding as they're looking for things as well. We see more of Caleb's backstory and how traumatic it is and how he was ultimately coerced into murdering his own parents and Kat.
What the fuck?
That was traumatic to watch in an episode. But also Caleb's character, voiced by Liam O'Brien, he loves tragic characters, and Caleb is the OG of tragic characters, even more than Vax was, if I'm being completely honest. It sucks. It also shows how Caleb's mental state broke, and also puts him in a bind when it comes to his relationship with Beauregard and the rest of the team, as he lays a trap to keep the team from pursuing the other assassin so that he can go personally take care of him, which he does in traumatic Roy Mustang fashion. Burn that girl to asunder, but not before she was able to send off a message letting Trent and the others know that Bren, which is Caleb's real name, is still alive. And without his amulet that was being used to ward off scrying abilities and being tracked, now Caleb's in a lot of hot water. But also has to come clean with the rest of the team, which he does within the episode. Surprisingly, even Bo didn't just haul off and whoop his butt. It was to a point where she felt somewhat bad for him, and Knot laid down the relationship between her and Caleb, where Knot, they do have a parent-child relationship, but Knot is the parent and Caleb is the child. Knot sees great things in Caleb, and she will protect Caleb no matter what. And I really love that line because I remember that line from the live stream, and really solidifies their relationship, their friendship, and that helps, to me, it helps bring more people around to Caleb's plight and his trauma at the same token. Everyone on this team has some form of trauma, which is one of the beauty things about the Mighty Nein and why they are so chaotic. Unlike with Vox Machina, where some of them have baggage, but a lot of their baggage developed over time. Every single member of the Nine has had something bad happen to him. Maybe except for Jester is the closest person who is mentally stable amongst the group. But Jester also talks to her imaginary god, at least for now. So that's how episode 5 ends. Trent and his crew now know that Bren is alive and will be looking for him, while also they need to still get more information and figure out what's going on, especially with Bo and her journey, which we get more of that in episode 6, called Many Gifts, if I remember the episode correctly. I really enjoyed this episode because this I would say is the episode that brings the Nine together officially as a crew. They have been traveling together for this entire time, but they still are at odds and they still have some trust issues with each other. They all have their own things that some people have talked about and some have not completely talked about. They are tasked with meeting up with the gentleman who requires their aid in order to locate a specific piece of treasure. And doing so will allow them to get new ambulance to help protect Caleb and the rest of them from being scryed upon. We also see that Bo meets up with Dairon, I think is her name, and was able to get the bead to him, but Dairon's a little concerned that Bo is associating not only with other people when it comes to this very important mission, but also with Caleb, who is a Volstrucker technically, and which puts even more distrust between Caleb and Bo, which is worked out throughout the episode. As someone who also enjoyed EXU Calamity, there's a lovely tie-in with Nidus, who was portrayed by Luke Wilson during EXU Calamity. So Nidus, being a legendary pirate, having this treasure, that is what the Nine is going to find. And they also have to duck and dodge the Empire at the same time. They have to also utilize all their different skills and abilities and really come together as a team. So I really like how this episode focused on that bonding. This episode also featured our first look at Yasha, played by Ashley Johnson. And the episode cold opened with Yasha just brutalizing some Empire forces. And we get a little bit more of how Yasha is being controlled or manipulated. I believe the character's name is Oban, who actually has like a mental hold and control over Yasha to a certain extent. Yasha is also looking for the beacon, and we also see the ramifications and the fallout from Essek and his relationship with Trent, while Trent is in hot water because it is discovered that he is the one who stole the beacon by the rest of the Empire and is taken into custody. Trent has his claws in the king of the Empire and they're able to weasel his way out of it to display the power of the beacon that he stole, which is just not going to go well for a lot of people, especially Essek, because he's found out by his friend and inadvertently causes the death of a lot of Kryn Dynasty soldiers. So Essek is probably going to be on the run here pretty soon.
Run, bitch! Run!
Back to their journey looking for the treasure of Nidus. It has a very Goonies vibe, and that's something I really appreciate. We also get to see Ford having Uk'otoa in his ear, locating one of the eyes of Uk'otoa, which I believe he needs to consume or absorb in order to increase his power, but also probably has something to do with maybe letting Uk'otoa loose, if I'm to be believed or correct. I don't know if that's been explained in the episode. Again, I'm trying to keep it episode and animated series mostly, but it's not good. I'll say that. Even to the point where he almost bailed on everybody when the Empire showed up. Before this Empire showed up, Bo and Caleb had a semi-uncomfortable heart-to-heart, and they're able to put their trust in each other. Bo clearly has trust issues with people in general, but also Caleb knows it's hard for him to trust as well. And it's just something they have to work on. But they actually proved in this episode that they want the same thing. And Caleb's not a bad guy. He was able to actually get out, and he clearly wants to take Trent down. along with the cameo of Nidus, made this probably one of my favorite episodes so far, just because we got to see them actually work together as a team. We got to see all their skills in place, even with the semi-bickering here and there. I like the Tusk Love reference, and I like that Nathan Fillion actually does the voice of the gentleman. Also, we see Kree, who is an old associate of Molly's, or Lucian, what his previous life was, which was a little surprise to the rest of the team. See, everybody's got drama in this episode. I like the Calamity references. I like seeing Nidus as a character. I like them bringing in some of this pre-campaign lore that was later created and filtering it in within the actual animated series to blend everything together and make everything feel a lot more alive than probably when they were playing initially. But I really like episode 5 and 6. I think they're two of the strongest episodes so far. 7 and 8 are going to be completely bonkers because we're setting up now that Trent is free again, and the king knows that they have the beacon. They're willing to use it against the Kree, which is just going to signal all-out war. So the Nine really have to find a way to get the beacon away from the Empire without getting in trouble, basically. What's going to happen with Ford and the orb? And the episode ends with them getting some gold, returning to the gentleman, but also with an inevitable meeting of Yasha. What's going to happen there? We do know Yasha joins the team.
What?
Honey!
Wow.
Are you kidding
Really?
me? You just ruin it every time!
We'll see how that pans out within the episode. I really like these two episodes. I think they're incredibly strong. The trauma-filled episode 5 with Kayla's backstory is kind of a rough watch if you didn't already know the trauma he went through, especially when he assassinates his parents. It's so rough and traumatic, and it would break anybody, and it sucks. And Trent is just an evil, evil person. Like, no redeeming qualities whatsoever. And I like that about my villains, where they are just evil bastards, no redeeming qualities. Just take them out. It'll be awesome. But then the treasure hunt and team building exercise of episode 6 also is definitely one of my highlights of the season so far. Very much looking forward to the last two episodes of the season. Love bringing in the Calamity references and past characters. I love all the voice actors that they've been able to get for the show. It's amazing. I'm pretty sure I've missed some things between these two reviews. So please let me know in the comments down below, what are some of your favorite moments from these two episodes? What are you hoping for in the finale that we should be getting over the course of the next 2 weeks? And more than likely we'll be getting a season 2. So let me know any theories that you might have about season 2 and where that might go. But that is going to do it for my review and spoilery thoughts for episodes 5 and 6 of the Mighty Nein. Let me know anything you thought about it in the comments down below. And thank you so much for checking out this and all of my videos. I really do appreciate it. If you happen to enjoy this, please subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. I've got a ton of videos on here you're more than welcome to check out. You can follow me on most social media at DGeekWill. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But as always, until next time, critters, I will catch you later. See ya.